You have spent hours on your resume. You applied to 30 roles, maybe 40, and you heard back from almost none of them. No rejection, no feedback, just silence. If that's where you are right now, this video is going to tell you exactly why. I have reviewed hundreds of FP&A resumes through FP&A Professionals Institute, a community of 12,000 plus finance professionals across 100 plus countries. And the same mistakes appear again and again. Not because people aren't trying, but because nobody told them that the rules have changed. The FP&A job market is getting competitive. A strong candidate with a weak resume gets filtered out immediately before even any human reads that resume. However, a weak candidate with a sharper resume can get the call. So the resume is not a formality, it is the gatekeeping mechanism. Getting it wrong can always prove to be expensive. In this video, I am going to walk you through the 5 most common reasons FP&A resumes get ignored straight from my book From Accounting to FP&A, and for each one of them exactly how to fix it. So pull up your resume right now if you can, check each of them against what you currently have, and by the end of this video you will exactly know what to fix. So let's get into it. Mistake number one is that your professional summary says nothing. The professional summary is the first thing any recruiter reads. You have about 60 seconds to earn the next 60 seconds. And most FP&A resumes open with something like this: experienced finance professional with a strong background in FP&A and a track record of success seeking a challenging role in a dynamic organization. Read that again. Every single word of it is interchangeable. It applies to literally every other candidate in the pile. There is not one specific verifiable fact in that. It signals nothing about who you are, what you have achieved, or why they should keep reading. Replace vague claims with specific facts, numbers, scale, recognition. Here is what a strong FP&A summary looks like. FP&A manager with 5 years of experience, including direct responsibility for managing a $500 million expense budget. Improved forecasting accuracy by 10% through advanced analytics. Recognized as a top FP&A performer in the company for consecutive 3 years. 3 sentences, every sentence contains at least one verifiable specific claim. No one else can copy that summary because it is yours, and that is the goal. So if someone else could copy your summary without changing a word, then you need to rewrite it. Now, once the summary earns the respect, the recruiter next moves on to your work experience. And this is where the second mistake lives, and it is even more common. A quick note: if you are building towards an FP&A role and want an FP&A certification that makes recruiters take your application seriously, the CGFP certification by FP&A Professionals Institute is specifically designed for this. It signals to the hiring managers that you have done the structured work. Links are in the description. Now let's get back to the video. Mistake number two is that you are listing your duties and not achievements. Open most FP&A resumes and you will see bullet points like these: responsible for budget preparation and variance analysis, assisted in monthly financial reporting, supported the financial forecasting process. These describe what the role involved, but not what you contributed. Every other person who held that job could put the same bullet on their resume. Duties are table stakes, achievements are the differentiation, and recruiters are looking for that differentiation. Shift from task based to value based. Every bullet should answer the question: what changed because of your work? Here are 3 before and after examples. Before: managed budget and forecast. After: managed a $500 million expense budget and improved forecast accuracy by 10% within 6 months. Before: preparing management reports. After: streamlined monthly reporting process, reducing preparation time by 30% and accelerating decision making process across 5 business units. Before: identified risk in the audit process. After: identified control gaps, preventing potential losses of $100,000 annually, leading to a full remediation within 1 quarter. The formula is simple: action verb plus what you did plus a measurable result. If you can't add a number, add a scope. If you can't add a scope, add an outcome. Something that shows that it mattered. You can have a great summary and a strong achievements section and then still never get a call because of the third mistake, which is almost invisible to most candidates. Mistake number three is that your resume doesn't speak to the ATS. Most large companies and many mid-sized ones use application tracking system, also known as ATS, to screen resume before any human even reads them. ATS software scans for keywords from the job description. If your resume doesn't contain the right keywords, it gets filtered out automatically, regardless of how strong you are in your experience. An FP&A resume that doesn't mention budgeting, forecasting, variance analysis, financial modeling, or scenario planning in those exact terms actually may never reach the recruiter's desk. And this isn't about keyword stuffing. It is about speaking the language the system is reading for. So you need to read the job description carefully before you apply, identify the specific keywords and phrases they are using, and use the exact terms in your resume. So if the job description says rolling forecast and your resume says continuous planning, then the ATS may not recognize it even if it's the same thing. Additionally, avoid complex formatting, tables, columns, graphics, headers and text boxes because ATS software sometimes can't read them. Use a clean single column layout with structured sections. The usual sections are your work experience, education, skills, and certification. Make it simple but scannable. Even if your resume gets through the ATS, the fourth mistake can kill it the moment a human picks it up. Mistake number four is overuse of buzzwords and cliches and vague language. Often, finance resumes are full of words that sound impressive but mean nothing. For example, results driven, strategic thinker, strong communicator, detailed oriented, team player. Every recruiter who reads 30 resumes a day has become completely numb to these phrases. They add zero information, they take up space that could have been used to say something real. And in FP&A specifically, a function built on precision and analytical rigor, a resume full of vague language sends exactly the wrong signal about how you think. So replace every claim with evidence. Don't say strong communicator. Instead, describe the presentation that you built that got the $2 million capital investment approved. Don't say detail oriented. Instead, show the error that you caught that prevented a $50,000 misstatement. Don't say strategic thinker. Instead, describe the scenario model that you have built that changed the company's market entry decision. The principle is very simple: show and don't just tell. Every quality you want the recruiter to believe about you should be demonstrated through a specific example and not declared through an adjective. If you can delete a word and the sentence means the same thing, then most likely you should delete it. One final mistake, and this one is purely structural, which makes it the easiest to fix right now. Mistake number five is too long, too cluttered, and too hard to read. A recruiter spends on an average 6 to 8 seconds on the initial resume scan. In that window, they are looking for the relevant title, recognizable companies, and notable achievements. A 3-page resume with 10 different bullet points per role, dense paragraphs, and a skills section that looks like a word cloud is not making that cut. More information does not always mean more impressive. It means more noise, and noise usually gets filtered out. So keep it to one page if you have less than 10 years of experience, and 2 pages maximum if you have more than 10 years of experience. Make sure that you have 3 to 5 bullet points per role and no more, and each bullet point in one line if that is possible. Use a single professional font, standard size, and consistent spacing. Prioritize recency. Your last 2 or 3 roles carry the maximum weightage. Earlier experience can be summarized, and remove anything that doesn't directly support your FP&A candidacy. Irrelevant roles from 15 years ago, generic skills like Microsoft Word, hobbies that don't connect to the FP&A work. Every line on your resume is competing for space. Make sure that it earns its place. So there you have it. 5 mistakes, and every single one is fixable today. Generic summary, replace it with specific numbers. Duty bullets, rewrite them as achievement bullets. Missing keywords, mirror the job description. Buzzwords, replace every claim with an evidence. Cluttered format, cut it down and clean it up. Drop a comment below. Tell me which one of these 5 mistakes you found in your own resume. And if you want a FP&A certification that makes the recruiter stop scrolling, then check out CGFPA certification by FP&A Professionals Institute. Links are in the description. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.